Okay.
Uh, okay, so last time we ended with the. I think my monitor is visible, right? I think here.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, last time we ended with the two files kind of finished, map.ini and map.dat. This one was for script. So let's say we are at the point when we wrote all of the missions, all of the AI, which is not present in this map. It's empty. So let's say we finished all of that. And if you would compare such map to something that already exists within the community, like take for example this one, forget ENC files. There are like two folders which are missing in our version of the map. That's folder minimap and that's folder text. And basically the folder minimap, there should be one file only there. It's responsible. This one is empty, but people sometimes left like. This one is good. People sometimes left some project files there. So this is basically the minimap of your map. So this is the thing that's gonna be visible in the menu. And let's say I want to create an image on our course map. I just need to manually create the file minimap. And inside I need to create some PCX file. So for a template, I can copy this one. So let's say I copied it. Now it's in the GIMP, and I will like edit it here, and later save it as a new file in our map. So the one file which you might be looking for when creating such minimap, it's on our website. I'm gonna send a link for that. It's like a template for a old paper, like a blank minimap. It's here. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. So this is the empty minimap. It's in our gallery here. And you can paste it. I think it's gonna be. Oh, it's the same size actually. That's good. You can paste it, delete what's beneath, and you can like draw behind it. And by doing so, you can create your own minimap. Just you should know that those like edges are quite common because many people were copying this particular template. So it's gonna be recognizable by some people that you use the template, but I think it's better than not doing anything sharp at the edge like that. And this actually also has to be an indexed color map. So the same thing as it was before with the PCX, this also has to be an indexed color map, but you have a freedom to use any color which you want, up to like 256 different colors. So you're counting from 0, that's index 0, the pink icon, and the last one, the brown color, is like 256. But the good thing is we don't need to use those particular colors. So let me create a new file. This is like RGB instead of indexed file. So you can see that in image mode, it's RGB, and we don't have any indexed color map. And let's say we want to draw something here. I'm gonna now pretend that I can't draw, and I'm gonna draw some maybe map of Europe here. It's gonna be ugly, but it's not. The point is that you need to technically know how to do this. Usually you want to paste like some screenshot here, maybe some minimap or something like that, but you can do anything with all the colors you have there. That's my impression of the Europe. Let's add some noise there. Let's actually make it on the new layer. That's gonna be better. And now let's maybe use some Gaussian blurring or something like that to make it more colorful. I mean to add more variants of the colors like here on the edge. And what you need to do once you finished with that, you need to use image mode indexed. That's important. And then you need to generate optimum color palette, and here manually correct it to 256. It should be 255 by default, but we want one more color, then convert it. And what the GIMP will do, it's that it's gonna try to pick 256 colors that's gonna match the palette as closely as possible. So you can see, I actually need to only have one purple shade there, so maybe I'm gonna paste it over again, just to make sure that it's like perfectly one purple color and nothing more. And also before doing that, you need to like merge all layers down, so it's not gonna generate unnecessary colors for layers which aren't visible and so on. So here, image mode indexed, 256. We got the color palette, and now it's good. It's only one pink color. And now this color, it's not like the pink color has a special property. The special property lays in the index 0. So what you're gonna need to do next is go to, I think it was, I don't remember exactly where it was. I think, okay, it was colors, map, and then it should be the option rearrange color map. And it should be accessible only if your image mode is set to indexed. So you go to color, map, and then rearrange color map. And you want to manually drag the pink color to be at the index 0. Because if we wouldn't do that, then the transparent color will be some shade of blue, because it doesn't care what's pink, what's green, and so on. It cares what's index 0. And that's gonna become transparent. So we need to like rearrange it manually and make the pink color to be 0. We click OK, and now you can see that the pink color is 0. And let me save this file as a PCX, maybe on the desktop firstly. This file has to have a name minimap, and it has to be an indexed PCX. You can actually see that our image is so simple that it didn't even take 256 colors to fill up the whole index space there. But if it's gonna be like a screenshot or something with more variation of the color, then it's gonna for sure fill up all of those spots, and it's gonna like the colors which will be missing here will be like warped to the closest color present in the palette. So GIMP will be kinda trying intelligently to generate the best color map to preserve colors from original PNG, which might have more than 256 colors. Is it important, Emil? Okay, here Emil sent me an example of a minimap which has a different color as an index 0. It's from his map. You can see the index 0 is gray, and in game this gray becomes transparent. It's similarly done. I needed to just to flex kinda on my map. I think it's green. Yeah, you can see here that it's index 0 green, and it's gonna become transparent. So man, you can just use the color which like gonna contrast with your map, so it's gonna be clear what's gonna be transparent. And now when we saved this file, yeah, it's here. That's our file. We just need to paste it in the directory course minimap, and that's gonna become our minimap. And now I'm gonna open the game to show you this. And that's basically the whole stuff with the minimap folder. It's quite simple. There's only one file there. You just need to remember how PCX behave differently compared to PNG. And the more complex, but the slightly more complex folder is the folder called text. I'm gonna start explaining while the game is loading. So this folder basically contains all of the translation of your maps and everything that's language dependent. Okay, let me check that in game. Here's our map. You can see our beautiful Europe minimap here in the game, and it's actually yeah, it's our map. I need to turn off the sounds. Yeah, so that's basically all when it comes to minimap. It's just a one file and that's all. And now for the text. Firstly, you need to decide in which language you're gonna make your map. Usually there are 10 languages from which you can choose. I forgot which were the exact 10 of them, but most commonly you're gonna use English, maybe German, Polish, maybe Middle Polish, but maybe probably English. We can search. Okay, so 10 available languages are German, English, French, Italian, Czech, Russian, Polish, Spanish, Portugal, and Hungarian. I think Hungarian is like specific to some editions of cultures, so it's not gonna work always. But basically, you're mostly gonna use English and German. Maybe CityMass you're gonna use French if you want to make map in French, because that also supported. Unfortunately, Croatian is not supported by cultures, so there are no Croatian version of cultures, at least not commonly accessible. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with the English folder, I think. So here, in our folder with the map, in folder text, you want to create a folder which gonna has as its name a three-letter code for the each language. So I'm gonna call it ENC because I want to make a map in the English. But if if you want to have multiple language version of the map, like it's common in the CN mode, you can go somewhere here, and you can see there are like 4 different folders. So you can add different language versions to your map by like copying and pasting how this folder works inside and just changing its name. And the German has like a special property because the Cultures is obviously a German game. That's the first language. And so if you're gonna create a map, for example, let's say I made a map and it's only available on Polish, and you're gonna try to launch it on English Cultures. It's gonna firstly try to search for the English folder. If it's not gonna find it, then you won't see any text in game. But the German folder is special because no matter in which language you're gonna start the game, if it cannot find the appropriate folder, the German folder will be treated kind of as a fallback folder. So I think it might be visible in some maps. I think Emil did it like some peoples prefer just to write everything in German folder, even if it's not German, because no matter on which version of Cultures someone will launch the game, the text will be properly working. But I personally prefer to like translate my maps. I think Polish and maybe to English and German. Yeah, that's my map. I haven't translated it to the Russian as Yosenkov did. So that's basically how the structure of this works. And inside it, there's like a structure which basically the easiest instructions how you should do stuff inside there is to copy this folder from another map and clean it up, because there are so many like technical parts that it's easier to copy it and clean up stuff than create everything manually. So I'm gonna copy it. I guess I'm gonna do it from my map, which has like not much content. I think where this one gonna be good. Oh, it's translated. Okay, I'm gonna copy the English folder to it's gonna merge, I think. Okay, and inside you should have like one file which is called strings.ini and another folder which is called briefings. You can open strings.ini. That's like because I copied the stuff, and you want to clean up everything maybe to this form or to another. So this file is responsible for every short text in the game. So it's responsible for example, title of the map, the description of the map, all of the names of the heroes, all of the names of the players, and all of the goals, but not for long cutscenes which you need to scroll down. So it's like every one-liner is here in the file. And what this file does is assign a number to a corresponding string. So let's call it a title, maybe, and let's call it this one a description. It's a common conversion to use 0 for title and 1 for description, but you don't need to use it like that. It could be like maybe 10 or 11 or something like that, but a common practice is to use 0 and 1 just to not confuse yourself for later stuff. And in our map ini file, we can link that. It's, I think, map names in a section MISC map name. If you don't have such section, you can create it manually. You have map name strings ID, and basically what this does in map ini file. So reminder, we're now back in the main folder. In this file, what this command does is it tells the game, hey, search for the string with the number 0 in my string ini file, depending on which language the player has installed. and the game goes, hey, it's a string 0, just display the title. And the same goes here. Hey, I want to display a description for a player. Search me the string with the number 1. Okay, here you go, description. And now I can save this file and show you how this looks in game. So basically now we should have a map which title is just title and which description is just description. And this this is just a trivia, but you would expect it to be called string, but it's called string n because it like means strings numbered. I think in some version of cultures, doing this by default will like increment 1 and this is gonna be a string 1, but I'm not sure about it. Let's leave it like that because that's a better version of it. And now if I'm gonna go here, you can say there's a map with the title and with a description. So that's how you're gonna want to write some short text. And now I think I'm gonna show you all of the short text which you can write. So maybe goals, custom names for heroes, and what was the third thing? I forgot.
Player attributes.
Yeah, names of the players. Okay. So that's the first thing I'm gonna show you. It's all done within this file strings.ini combined with our file map.ini. So we're gonna be using like those two files. Here we're gonna be defining our strings, and here we're gonna be linking our numbers to some other variables. So that's gonna be the first part, and the second part is this folder briefings. Usually there's a lot of mess. You can delete all of the HLT files. I'm gonna okay, I'm gonna go later here, but basically we're gonna go back to strings in a moment. I want to like clarify one thing with the briefings before. Why is it there? Who made that map? It should look like this. So there should be like 3 folders, a lot of HTML files which can be opened by Notepad. I have no idea why I don't have associated it, and the one file called briefings. And basically, I'm gonna explain later how those ELT files work. But when we're working on modification or something like that, and everyone is blindly copying tons of HTML files, it really slows down the way the game extracts files. So it's important to not leave like loose HTML files which does nothing, because it can accumulate over years to like a lot of useless files which no one knows what they do. So just reminder, we're gonna be back here, but reminder that you shouldn't be like pasting HTML files blindly, not checking what's inside of them. But let's go back to strings.ini, because this is the briefings folder is responsible only for the long cutscenes in the game. Strings.ini are responsible for like the short stuff. So let's say I want to have a custom hero on my map. I'm gonna go to now static objects, and let's say set human 0 somewhere. Let's say I want this Frank to be a hero. I now need to change it job. Let's say it's gonna be a scout, because I forgot what was the proper name for Bjarni. So he's gonna be a scout, and we're gonna we want him to have a like the aura around him and make it impossible for the name to be changed. And you probably know it from the previous lessons. We open behavior calculator from the tools, and here we just check it, and it's gonna be where it was colored aura and no renaming. So this is the basic code for the like hero, because we don't want the name to be changed.
And no needs. No needs also.
Okay, no needs, but it's not necessary. You can like make a hero which might have needs, but yeah, it's uncommon. And I think it was this one. I'm not sure. Am I doing it right? I think this one was behavior. I did the second one.
That place.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot it. And now I can show you how this works in game. It's not yet programmed correctly, but we cannot make the name, but it's like drawn randomly from the game, from the set of all Frankish names. But let's say we want there to be like a proper custom name associated with that character. And for that, I need to check the Polish tutorials because I forgot it. I forgot which one it was. Uh, uh, I'm gonna check in the finished maps how it's done because I forgot. But there's a separate section in a map ini file which you need to write. This is gonna have plenty of heroes. I don't know where people write it usually.
Misk.
Misk. Okay. I don't remember this convention. Okay, it's Misk human names. Okay, now I know. So basically, you want to add a separate section called Misk human names, and here I think as you remember, the humans might have unique IDs. So right now, all of them have ID 0. But let's say this hero, I want him to have an ID 1. So I'm gonna write here set name 1. 1. And it's gonna be only one hero, and this one isn't important yet, I think. I don't remember the order, so I might be wrong here. But I think this is the number of like the ID of the creature. So it's our hero here. It has like ID 1, and everyone else has an ID of 0. This is the third number after the job type. And the second value is the string ID here. So let's say I'm gonna write string n2, and let's say that I want this hero to be named course hero. And now let's write it like that. So for the creature with the ID 1, set the name with the ID 2. And now if I'm gonna save this and restart the map, it's called his course hero. So that's how it works. So you can add custom names by adding this stuff here, Misk human names, and then setting the name of the creature to some ID to some another ID from the strings ini file. Let's say we want to make another hero just for the sake of repeating the process to maybe catch it better. Let's say we want to have a female hero. Maybe this Frankish woman I'm gonna make a hero. I'm gonna change her ID to 2 because 1 is already occupied by this scout, and we shouldn't have 2 heroes with the same ID. That's a bad practice because only one of them will be remained, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna change her ID to 2. Hey, behavior ID, let's say change it to this number, but let's make her have needs. That's just another variant. And let's say that we want her with the ID 2 to have a name maybe of ID 10. Just as an example, those IDs don't need to go one by another. We can make some gaps and just use larger numbers. I don't know what the limit, probably one around, I think numbers past 1000 still work, but it should be like you can use larger numbers if they are round and more comfortable. I'm gonna use 10 here. And it basically says that set the name for the creature with ID 1, then name with the ID 2, and for the creature with ID 2, set the name to ID 4. So maybe call it course heroine. It's her. Okay, let's me save the files and restart the map. And now we've got 2 heroes. He's called course hero and she's called course heroine. And the difference is that she has needs, but he does not. And that's basically how you make heroes in game. If you want them to be like with the texture of Bjarni, Sigurd, and other classic heroes, you just need to change the job to something appropriate. But it's like done on the on the previous part when you're like exporting the map from the editor with the heroes placed there. They will already have like appropriate jobs if you place them in the editor. I don't remember what were the names for them, but yeah, the heroes might have all of the names you want to give them. And she still can get married even if she's a hero, because that's something blocked by the fact that the job is specific for heroes, but not the fact that she's the hero herself. Okay, so that's how names for the heroes work. Now let's move on to the names of the players. That should be in the player MISC. Yeah, there's another section which we're gonna need to write there. It's called player MISC, or maybe I already have it. I don't think I have. Oh no, it's here. Okay, so this stuff works similarly. Just one recap. There is no single name for a player. You can see I have a Polish culture, so I hope that's not a problem. But the blank names, which are by default, gracz means just player. So it means player 4, player 5. But here up in the window, you can see P4 and P5, not player 4 and player 5. And that is because players have two different names, one of which is like responsible for being fully displayed on minimap, and one which is responsible for being displayed here on the top. And the good reason why is it like that, I can show you on maybe different map where there are a lot of players. Maybe here, that's gonna be a good map. Here there are only two players, but it's a specific map, kinda. You can see that if I would have like some full proper names there, there wouldn't be enough space in the top here to display all of them. So you want to make full names for the map, use full names, and here use just some shortcuts, which will be like easy to read, and they won't like they cannot be too long because it won't be properly displayed. So in case of our map, let's just give some random names to those players. So name tribe is like a full name, and name tribe short is this short name which is up above. And the player 0 is just us. So the only time when we're gonna see the player name tribe is when we're gonna die. There will be a message that the player 0 died. So people sometimes forget to name this correctly, but we can write this correctly right now. So this is our player 0. Forget everything that's below for now. We want our name tribe to be 11 and our short name to be 12. So let's call it string numbered 11 player. Or maybe you want to call it, if you're making a specific map, maybe when you play with Vikings, you can call it Vikings or something like that. And string 12, it's gonna be invisible unless it's multiplayer, maybe just Vic. And similarly, we can do another strings, maybe 13 is gonna be francs, and 14 is gonna be just fra and dot. And now this won't be visible, but this is gonna be. We can associate that with the player 1. So it's like here, name tribe for the player 1 is gonna be 13, and name tribe short will be 14. And now I can check this in game. It's here. And now I need to go to discover francs because they aren't here visible by default. I think I can start to trigger this thing which we programmed before. Okay, here are francs, and you can already see they are called fra here, and their full name is francs. So that's how it works. And we can now repeat this process for every player that's in game. So let's call the player 2 something which we're gonna set in a moment. That's gonna be 15 and 16. Player 3 will be 17 and 18. And player 4 will be... you get the point. I can remove those now. And just write the strings appropriate for that here. So write strings 15, 16, or maybe I'm gonna try to use this convention. It's really rarely used. I'm not even sure if it works correctly. Let's call it Byzantine and bis. I'm not sure is it correct. It was correct when I checked it a long time ago, but I might misremember something. It should by default add 1 if it's not with the end there, but with just written string. Okay, let's discover them. There should be somewhere here. And you can see it works. This is the string 15, but we don't define it explicitly. It's just gonna, if it's not numbered, if it's just a raw string, it's gonna add 1, and this is gonna work the same as this. But sometimes maybe we don't want to like write by hand 100 numbers or so, so you can just use this one without the n, which stands for number here. And this is gonna increment by 1 every line, and you can see it works. Byzantine is called bis for the short, that's 15. And Wait a sec. Is it like reversed? No, it's correct. Okay, so Byzantine is a long name. This is 15. Name tribe for the player 3 is 2 is 15. And name tribe short is 16. So with this, it works. I think I have a player 3 undiscovered yet, but I wanted to show one thing. I forgot where he was. Not there, probably. Maybe no, I forgot. Oh, I made it so it's not possible to see it. Wait, no, player 3. I want to show you guys how the error with the unfound string works, but I'm not sure it's gonna be correct for the player. I think it just falls back to the default one if no one is seen. But yeah, that's basically how the naming player works in the game. So just remember that player misc has two additional keys, aside from what was explained earlier, how the diplomacy works, is a name type, that's full name type short, that's a short name, and strings have two different entries, that's string numbered and string, and you can use that to define some text in the game. So that's how player works. The third thing which I had to, okay, goals. So that's the third thing which has short names, those are goals. And basically, when we were writing our missions, there was one parameter which we haven't used, that was description. And -1 basically means that this mission is hidden. You shouldn't have displayed that in this window here with our goals of the missions. Sorry for the Polish. Hope that's not the problem. This is like the if you click the icon with the flag, that's the default tab there. But I know everything is in Polish. Oh, is actually from the Polish course? I forgot that the back info is incorrect. Find Viking 4. Okay, so let's say there was a mission that we need to find this tribe here. Let's make it so that it's like it says here, find those Vikings, and then once we found it, it's gonna check this mission as with the cross sign. So for that, firstly we want to write some text. Let's make it string numbered, maybe 20. Find purple Vikings or something like that. And now here we want as a description to write 20 here. Let's save it. And now let's restart the game. And before we're gonna discover them, oh no, I think I need to remove the explore area stuff because they are gonna be found immediately. Okay. Wait, I forgot one parameter. You need also to write here visible. Visible 1. That means the mission is visible for the player. If it's 0, it's gonna not be visible, and you can change it by using result set visible and then the number of the mission, so it's gonna be 1 because we're counting from 0. So it's gonna work. This line would work with visible 0 would work the same as visible 1 just. Except there wouldn't be any lag if we would write it like that at the beginning. So we can now restart the game. And now you can see it's not active, okay, because if it's active is set to 0, it's gonna be like grayed out like that. But now if you're gonna wait a moment, this mission has been activated, so inside the game it's now active 1. And this is like a proper goal which we can realize now because the mission is active. And now once we would find them, the mission would turn to be like complete. Let's go down here, and you can see we found them, and it's crossed with the X. So we found those guys, the mission is complete. So that's how you can use description and visibility to make text for the mission. Just in case you would be making a very long map, I think you can like squeeze up to 20 missions there, even if the limitation here is 150. In the CN mode, it's like 900 or something like that, but it's like the amount of text which can fit inside this window is much smaller than the number of missions which you can write there. So just to remember to maybe not put any minuscule goal here, only the more important one, which players can read after they skipped the cutscenes. And that's basically.
Also, we can hidden the mission in result.
Yeah, we can also hit the mission. I forgot what was the name of that result.
Set visible. mission ID and the hero.
Okay, where I wrote it, I'm blind. It's not there. Okay, okay. You can also write something like that. Result set visible ID of a mission, so it's 1 and 0. So it's gonna like become invisible. Like it's gonna hide itself from the lobby here. So you can actually do something like hide already accomplished missions from a long past. So now it should work like that. We're gonna start the game. Now it's a mission which isn't there. Okay, it should be visible and active. That's for sure to work correctly. Title. And now it's visible and it's there, but now it's gonna get hidden immediately once the game starts. And now you can see I cannot see it anymore because I hid it there. So that's basically how goals works. So those are three basic things which you can do with short strings. You can set names, you can write custom goals, and you can write the names for the players. I think I haven't forget more important things. I'm just gonna check some finished map, but I think those are like three things which are present in most of maps. And obviously title and the description. Yeah, I think for the like basic map, those are three things which are defined here. That's like the player names, heroes names, and goals. So that's the first part with the string ini. Do you guys have any questions to that part?
No, not really.
No.
Okay, I made a typo here. Okay, never mind.
You're missing an eye.
Wait a second, I am blind today, sorry. Wait, where is it? The script. Oh yeah, yeah.
No song.
Yeah, I was missing an eye. So it's title, description. Okay, so that's the part with the short strings. Now moving on to the second part of this meeting. Is it how to write long texts? First of all, you want to delete all of... Why those files are here still? You want to delete all of HTML files. Just
You are in public map. No.
Okay, so okay, that makes sense. Why it was still there. You want to copy this folder from another map, and firstly delete all of HTML files and remove them. And each HTML file I can associate with Notepad. I have no idea why I haven't done this yet. Is a text file which gonna include how the text should be formatted. So the block thing tells you how the thing should be warped. So I think block 0 is to the right, block 1 is to the left, 2 is centered, and 3 is justified. I might be wrong on that. Oh, sorry, I'm leaking our private chat. You can paste it somewhere here. Yeah, I should probably crop that because there's like a private tactic for tournament. Okay, yeah, 0 is... I'm looking on my second monitor. 0 is left, 1 is right, no, 1 is justified actually. 2 is centered, so that's words by default on the maps, and 3 is to the right. Most people use 2. I'm gonna use 1 because I think that looks cooler, but you can use 2, that's more default. Then you have like the name of the color which gonna be used. So by default that's like black. It's stored in this file. The name of the font, and I'm gonna go in the moment how this exactly works. Just so you know how those HTML files work. They are directly linked to our cutscenes. So back when we were writing some stuff there in a map ini, there was a result called play cutscene, and it was the ID of the cutscene. I mean, is it like, should it be hidden after revealing itself, or can the player go back to this cutscene? And the ID of cutscene. And this ID of cutscene, this numerical value, is the same as the numerical value in HLT, except this file always needs to have a leading zero, so it's 4-digit long. So let's say I'm gonna now create HLT1 here, 0001. And that's the file inside which will be linked to our cutscene. So I can write here map title and some story here, maybe long time ago, and something here. It's our cutscene. Oh no, it's actually copy 0. Wait, okay? So I can delete that and rename it to 001. And now, if I'm gonna launch the game, it should use this cutscene to play out at the beginning. Its title started. Wait, it doesn't. Okay, so you need to. Wait, where is it? Okay, so you cannot actually include the text here. I think it's only for like the text formatting. You need to include your text in a briefings folder. And this basically has like two keywords. It's called block start, and then the ID of some text to this thing, which I forgot what's the name of it in English, and then maybe some text, map start. And this should always be followed, such line, by the same thing, but with block end called instead of block start. And here we can write something, maybe this thing long time ago. And this will be our text section, which gonna be linked in our like HTML file. And now we can include there how it worked. I forgot. Sorry. Am I looking for ini? Yeah, it should be txhlt. Okay, so this is our name. So I named it map start. We can paste it here. Maybe without this. Maybe I'm gonna use font 612 here. Okay, that's a simple. So we justify the text. We set the font to be black. We choose some font from available in the game, and we want to include the text from briefings.txt file with the name of the section map start. So it's gonna include something starting from here and ending here. So you cannot write the text directly here. You can only do text formatting here. That's what the purpose of HTML file is. And you can write some text here in the briefings.txt. So let's save both files. And now if I'm gonna restart the game, it should work. Wait, I made some mistake. Debugging time. What did I wrong? Map in it's not saved. Okay, it wasn't saved. Maybe that was the issue. Or should I restart the game? Maybe I'm not sure. Wait a sec. Maybe I got the order of IDs here wrong. It should be ini. What? No one writes like that? It? Really? What is this? Wait a second, I'm a little bit confused why no one else has write cutscenes like that. Okay, so it's like the different order. So this should be the ID of a cutscene here, and this just means is it like visible again? So it should be like that. So sorry for that problem. It should work now. And you can see I have a justified text. It's not visible because it's only one line, so it's gonna be warped to the left. And I got this text long time ago. And now when I had this HTML file, this is like the regular text formatting. So for the text, you want the font of size 12, usually dark. but for the title you might want something different. So let's make another section called map title here, maybe. And block and map title. And let's name it like map title. Okay. And now here we can like, here's the font 12. This was font, I forgot. Let's make it 12 and call it map title. So it's gonna now, firstly, the game will go to the mission and it's gonna be told to play the cutscene 1. It's gonna look for HTL 0001 and then it's gonna look for the justified, that's not lookup kinda, but it's gonna look for the dark font, for a font size 12, for the text called title. I don't know what this one means. I think this might be a number of repetitions, but we don't modify this usually. And then it's gonna do the same again and gonna display another text. Maybe for it to work, to be like more entertaining, I'm gonna change the font here. So let's use another font which we have there. Let's make it font head 16 bold. Font BLD. Okay, and now if I'm gonna restart the game, it should be like in the bold. You can see it's map title long time ago. So it used a different font. And that's basically how briefings work. You can write stuff here and you can format it here. Some people would prefer to do it differently, to not write it here, only write includes here, and those parts write here in the block start section. That's how you're gonna see it in most of the older maps, because back in the days people didn't care about HTML files, they just copy pasted 50 of them or something like that, and paste all of the formatting which like should be specific there. In my opinion, that's a not good practice, because when you have a translator for your map, you want to minimize the number of the text which he's gonna deal with that's not related to the translations. So HTML files is something that you keep for yourself, like the formatting, and briefings.txt is the file which you would send to a translator or maybe ChatGPT or Google Translate or something else, and let it translate the stuff there inside. So we want to make this file as clean as possible for people who have no clue what cultures is, so that in case of using external translator, maybe human, maybe computer, there will be as little programming stuff there as possible. But it's possible to add programming stuff there, it's just not recommended by me. So that's how briefing works and how HTML file works. So every such file is linked to a cutscene. Maybe let's write another cutscene just to show you how it works. Maybe some text that we discover Vikings. So maybe discover Vikings. Here ended, and just some text. I'm gonna pretend it's a long text, so I'm gonna just copy paste this a bunch of times. And it's gonna be another cutscene in our map ini file. So when we find Vikings, we have cutscene played out. It's actually cutscene. It should be like written for 1. I made a mistake previously. Goal player. Sorry, it's not this one. It's this one. Okay, so let's make it 2-1. So it's cutscene 2, and yes, we can look at it back later in the game. So it's 1 here. So let's create HTML file 002 there. Rename it. And we want to look for, how I called it, the Discover Vikings, and paste it here, maybe with the font now 10. It should be somewhere in the game, font 10, I think. If not, I think I'm gonna get an error. And save it, and now start the game. And now we have this cutscene. And now if we discover okay, we actually discovered them right now. Okay, I put that in the wrong mission, I think. It's here, okay. It shouldn't be here. It should be that we goal player scene 04. Why it's satisfied so early? Maybe you actually found them yet? No. Okay, so the cutscene is bugged, but you can see that this is a different cutscene. So it's like one cutscene is there with those two different fonts, and third cutscene with a still different font. It's smaller than this one, but it's bold for some reason. It's there. It should be like displayed when we discovered the Vikings, but for some reason, maybe it should be like that. I'm not sure. Oh no, it's like okay because it's successful if free. That was the problem. It was the negation. So now we should get one cutscene at the beginning and another cutscene when we discover them. So we discover them, we get another cutscene. And one thing about writing cutscene, something quite poetic, I would say, is that usually what I'm explaining now is more like a technical stuff, but obviously there will be a lot of textual formation going on there. So I could make a tutorial on how to write proper long texts. I don't think that's gonna be particularly interesting. But one thing that it's important to note here, compared to what you would usually write in school on like your native tongue lessons, long text for a school test or something like that. Usually, when you have a beginning of the book, maybe Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, something like that, you get the description of how the terrain looks like. So that's the beginning of every book, which you have like a fantasy book. There are like green trees, some houses, and so on. But in cultures, let's see how this looks like in game. I'm gonna open some random map, maybe this one. We get this 1 of 2 seconds of the terrain, and then the cutscene pops up. So the good design practice is to do not include any description of the terrain here. Just make it so that at the beginning people can glance at some trees, stones, and so on, and that's gonna be your description of the terrain. Once I made a really terrible mistake because I made some starting terrain, and then I spent a long time in my cutscene explaining the same terrain that the player was looking at. So don't make this mistake. You don't need to write anything related to how the terrain looks like, because the player will have like 2 or 3 seconds of the glance of how the trees looks like, how the starting position is there. And you don't need to include that here. That would be like too boring for the player to read about something that he already seen a few seconds ago. So you want to start it from something about the story, like go straight to the main hero, or straight to like some stuff that happens in the village. Don't write at the beginning the description of the terrain. That's like the one thing which is important about writing cutscenes. Don't write the description of the terrain. Okay, that was like more poetic advice. But now let's go back to the technical stuff. As you can see, except for the HTML files and the briefing file, there are 3 folders. It's called fonts, graphics, and palettes. The one with the fonts has some FNT files, which are kind of decoded, but it's really like advanced to modify them. Those are basically files which contains fonts in game. It's like a really complex file format, so you usually want to copy that from another map. And those fonts will vary depending on the language, not only with the special characters in Polish and German, but also the font in the English cultures is slightly different than in Polish cultures. So if you want to have like an English font, you can copy it from an English map. Also, if you want to have like a font with more beautiful letters, you can copy some font files from Gates of Asgard. It's, I think, compatible. They have like a different font, at least in Polish version. I'm not sure is it the case in the English version. But basically you can paste all of the fonts there. That's the folder for that, and we're not gonna get into how to edit those fonts. In the graphics folder, you want to place some PCX files which are gonna be displayed inside of the cutscenes. And I think it was opened in the GIMP now. It's loading. I'm not sure why my GIMP crashed. But basically you want to place all of the images that are in the cutscenes, you want to place them here. And my GIMP just crashed when I tried to... Okay, so it works. So it's basically the same as minimap, but you have, instead of a minimap, some custom... Okay, my GIMP crashed, I have no idea why. But basically here you can edit the image however you want. And the same stuff, the index 0 is always transparent. It doesn't need to be pink. It can be anything. And then later you can define as many colors as you want. I would recommend you to use this palette, which is by default there, even if you cannot add more colors than brownish white there, because it really well blends within the background which is visible in game. So this background has to like really blend really good with those images. And those images you can also add them here in the HTML files. I'm gonna just look up in some existing maps how it is done, because I forgot how to add images. It should be, that's gonna be a good map. Maybe Polish and HTML0. Okay, so where's the image? Briefings. Okay, user icon. That's not that picture. Okay. So to add custom pictures, you want to add this line picture, and then go the path towards this PCX picture. So this one is called people.f. Is usually by default in most of the maps because people blindly copy it from all over the place. Also, it's pretty much common for every map to make an edge case what would happen if all of your people would be dead. So that's why people like this image, because in almost any map you always have like an edge case when your tribe dies. And my GIMP don't really likes this file. I have no idea why. It's called people dead people dead f. I have no idea why my GIMP crashed with that file. People dead f. And now if I would open the game, there should be an image with that. It isn't there. What's gone too wrong? Maybe I misspelled the cutscene. Okay, no, it's not this map. Course, text, English, briefings, graphics. Did I misspell it? It should work fine. Maybe I'm gonna try to add it here. It doesn't work. I mean HTML00 first text. I have no idea why it doesn't work. That's another debugging time. It works here. Why it shouldn't work there? Okay, I'm gonna add it to another cutscene. Just let's see if that's gonna work. Maybe here. Oh, I think I'm not using cutscene 0. That's why cutscene 0 is unused, and our beginning cutscene 1. So that's why it wasn't visible. Okay, now you see map title, then the image, which is here, and then another text. So you can add images like that. There are also another option. It's called user icon, and for that you can use. I'm not sure what was the meaning of the first number. I think this is the player ID. I don't know. This one is just 0. Just don't. Oh no, I know what is it. I'm gonna mess with that a little bit later. But basically, user icon is gonna like focus on the specific player there. So, I mean, specific unit. So the unit with ID 1 was our course hero, if you remember correctly. And we are gonna want to have a small icon that's focused on him. So it's gonna be called user icon 01. It's not this cutscene, it should be, or yeah, let's have it here. And now if you're gonna restart the game and go with him to discover the Vikings, in this cutscene there should be additional icon with our hero, as you can see. It's here. I know I kind of messed this up, but this stuff here is the same as this. This is just the formatting version. This is how it's actually displayed. So you can make those small icons with the heroes. We can make it centered. That would look probably nicer, I think. And now we can go there with our hero here. Okay, and now it's centered. Everything past this line is centered. This is the user icon type 0. If I would type it 1 instead of 0, I think it would be like a full camera that follows him, like a bigger image. So
We
let's...
must, we can see coordinates. No people.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2, therefore. If 1 is for coordinates, I wanted to explain that in a moment. It's gonna be the type 2, and the type 2 will be for following the person, I think. Yeah, the type 2 is like this bigger image, and the type 1, which is what Emil just said, is for the static coordinates. So let's write it like 50-50 with the comma here, and that's gonna be our static coordinates. It's not gonna follow the specific person, so we can like restart it. And now if you're gonna discover them, we should see what's on coordinates 50-50. And this is some random pile of rocks in the middle of the map, because this map is 100 by 100, if I remember correctly. So it's like the middle here. And it should be like... Yeah, you can see it's this spot. There are around coordinates 50-50. So that's one way how you can check quickly coordinates if you don't want to convert it back to C2M file format. It's just quite obscure. So there are 3 types of user icon. User icon 0 is this small thing with just the character, which you can just... the second argument here after the comma is like the ID of a character. If it's type 1, it's gonna be static coordinates, and if it's type 2, it's gonna be the bigger image with the character. We can write something like that. Now we're gonna see 2 of our heroes there on separate icons there. Yeah, it's the hero with the ID 1 and then hero with the ID 2. Just remember, add some spaces here in the briefings so it looks nicer than this later when you're formatting the text. So I think that's all the basic stuff with the briefings. In the palettes, you have all of the possible colors. Also delete everything that's not PCX here. There are 2 files which were placed by one guy like 13 years ago or something, and people just blindly copy pasted them. The stamps DB and pal white BMD, just get rid of this. It's not important. You only need PCX files there, and those files have fonts. So the color for the fonts. So we can change the color of the font. I haven't showed that. So let's use font blue, for example. I'm gonna show you the GIMP in a moment, how this works. But now if I would start the game, I think I would get some of the text in blue. I just don't remember which cutscene it was. It was cutscene 2. Okay, so this text should be in blue, okay? And you can see if you would open this PCX file in the editor, it's something like that. And if you would see the color map, it's something like that. Basically, those colors aren't that much important here. The last index, 255th, is the actual color of the text. You can make a custom font which would be using all of those colors, but it's quite complex. They are unused mostly. The only last colors matters. And you have like this bunch of colors predefined here. They are copy-pasted from the original maps. But you can also make some custom colors. I think I did it in the past in one of our maps. And surprise, surprise, it's not frozen altars this time. We're gonna go to palettes, and it's palette font dark 2. That's my custom palette. And I just use one color there. Like this stuff here is not that much important. You can place all of the colors here. And the only problem is that if you use GIMP, it will manually try to use only one index here. So it's gonna say, hey, I want to generate optimum palette. You're using only one color. I don't care that you want to use 256 colors. I'm gonna use only one of them. So you actually need to like use some image with the 256 colors like this one, and manually change every one of them to the proper value. I think that's what I did, or I might automatize it in Python or something like that. But basically, if you want a custom font, custom color, you can modify it here. That happens really rarely. This is like the color for the text which is not focused. So it's the color for the, it's not here, but for the goals which are visible but not active. It's like the same thing here, but I wanted to use that color in my like a long text on my map. So if you would scroll down there, you can see it's actually used as an like additional guidance for the player after the long story. It's like short summary what the player has to do, and it's the same color as here. So this one is not present by default in the game. If you want to make like this fade out text, feel free to copy this file from my map. It's Oasis of Plenty. And you can also make your custom fonts, obviously, if you want some to have them. And those are like I think those are all of the most common entries in HTLT files. I also should like probably talk a little bit about the syntax itself. It's really close. I think it's really close to HTML. It has like the name of the commands and then some arguments after the two dots, and all of those arguments are divided by commas if you want to have multiple of them. And the relative folder that is this prefix folder, similarly like previously in our I'm gonna check this here. Obviously he used that, not here. There were those two folders, maproot and gameroot. Gameroot is basically where your executable file of the game is. Maproot is data maps or CN mod maps. And similarly, the folder called locals will be your, wait a second, will be your folder with the briefings. So it's course, text, English briefings, and this folder is called internally there as local. And relatively to that, you don't need to use those three folders. You can paste everything directly here and then just change those paths towards the actual files. TXT is and include is for like a regular text, font is for fonts, color is for colors, block is for formatting, user icon is for like icons, and there are some bunch more rarely used fonts. Not fonts, but entries type there. Like if you would, let's open some random map. If you would go to the help there, you have those like interactive. Oh no, where it was? To the history tab, you have those interactive red text there. And you can also make those interactive buttons inside your cutscenes. So maybe you want to have like some answers to what the player talk, like your AI talks, and you want one of three answers towards the what you would say towards the player in the game. Actually, this cannot affect the game, so it's only like a visual effect. But you can make like some illusion of choice that you actually talk with the guy and redirect the person here to the different cutscene. So maybe this is gonna be like answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. Oh, it's actually in German here. I didn't know he. Okay, never mind. And then make make kind of an interactive cutscene, and all there are like some all other rarely used stuff like that. And it's in the German documentation, I think. I forgot where it was, but there's like a documentation how to do that. Just forgot where it was. Yeah, but basically, this is gonna be quite advanced if you would try to do something like that. But you can make more interactive stuff there. It would be easier for me to check how this looks in Cultures 1 because this is exactly the same, or really similar. Sorry for that, but they haven't changed much between those two games. So you can use, instead of user icon, is user picture there, or icon. It's probably something called anchor, and you can see there are more of them. You can also, for comments, use rem. This is like if you were programming in Batch, you might know this command. It's rem, and then you can write everything this, and this means that read exclusive something. I don't remember, but there's like if you would start the line with rem in like your default CMD, uh, uh, everything else is gonna be ignored. Nothing's gonna happen, and the same goes for cultures. I'm not sure if it's true for cultures 2. It's for sure true for cultures 1. Using that, you can write comments in HTLT files. So in ini, I would write something like that, but in HLT, I need to write something like this if I want to have a command. So that's all. I might, if I'm gonna find those advances, syntaxes, I can send them over from there. But basically, once you have your finished missions, once you have your text finished, that's a full map. I know this doesn't look like, because it was done for the purpose of the course, and it doesn't have those not that much details. But from the technical point of view, and from point of view of all the terrain, everything there is the same level of completion as the full map would be, except there are like some obvious not important texts, because it was just supposed to work, not to be a coherent story, because that would be unnecessary for now. So I think that's all. There might be some edge cases which we haven't talked about throughout this course, like how to do colorful people with the custom colors of chest plates or something like that, or how to make an actual RNG, because the game doesn't have that. Those are like more complex matters, which I think would be unnecessary for your first maps. Maybe if you want to have a colorful Viking, that would be. I can explain that later, but it's not topic for today. But basically, that's all. The lesson next week will be about a different editor. This is like the full course now on how to make your map. And the last lesson, which is gonna be next week, will be about another way to make map if you want to get more advanced. But for now, I think this is the whole basic knowledge which you need to have if you want to make your whole map. I know I'm making it kinda a little bit dramatic, but this is the end of the standard course. You can see this actually looks like an actual map, except it's not serious, because I made it in 5 minutes. And inside it also looks like a real map, but the same, it's not serious because it was made in 5 minutes. But that's all, I think. The last lesson will be taught by Andrew, and I won't be there. So it's actually the last lesson with me which you have. So the deadline for maps, if you want to like fully finish this course, is 20 of September, because those are the birthday of our website, and we're gonna be publishing a lot of maps there then. And if you want to participate in that, which was the aim of this course, for people to participate in this map publication event, which we do every year, you can finish your map in like a month or so, if that's not a problem, and participate in that. And later, if you want to submit it on our website, it's in Polish, obviously. I can translate it to English for you. It's a download server. Then you go to add maps file package. I need to be logged in. Okay. And those are like some conditions, so you cannot make like a. Those are some regulations which map must satisfy. So it must be obviously winnable. You cannot make map that is impossible to win, unless that's the whole purpose for it to be like a free to play or something like that. It cannot be flat, so you need to remember about making proper mountains and heights and so on. The like here the down, it's down there for water, up for the mountain and so on. So there are a bunch of those really basic criteria. The one which is quite conventional for our community, your map should have a thumbnail of 200 by 200. For a German community, it's something different, I think. On their community, let's just search for some map. It's a different size. It's 252 by 189. So those are two standard sizes. If you want to publish it on German website, it's this size, and on our website is this size. So together with the map, you would need to make such icon if you want to publish it. Like do whatever you want here. Some people don't care and just paste some screenshot from the game, like Or some people even forgot to make such a map and administrations accept it, but I try to like remind people that they should add the thumbnail because that's an actual condition here. And after you're gonna read all of that, you click that you're ready to add your map, and here's the form for adding your map. It tends to crash really often, so just to keep in Notepad a copy of everything that you write here. This is the title. This is a short description. I think it's limited to 100 and something words. This is a full description. Make it however long you want. Here you can upload your file or add it to a different website or something like that. Here's the place for your, I am in Polish, sorry. Here's the place for your screenshot of the map, so 200 by 200, the size is matters. If you're gonna be off by 1 pixel, the whole form will gonna crash, so it has to be exactly 200 by 200. Here in the category, you probably want to select single player maps. You can leave this empty. Here you want to write CN mode or like 4 if it's for Eighth Wonder. Map version, it's gonna be 1.0 by default. You want to leave this empty. Here you want to write your name, or if you want to make like a free public map, you can also write the name of the license which you're gonna be using. I'm usually using GPL. And then you need to write the file size manually. I think the website can calculate it if you're gonna leave it empty, but it's better to like fill it there. And then you're gonna add it here. One of administrators here, so actively there are like 5 of us, but the only 2 which are actually verifying maps are me and Yosenkov. So one of us will have to go on the website, verify it manually for you, and it should be like later after that visible here in the downloads as the newest map. So that's the whole process. The entirety of the course, there will be 1 additional lessons. I think you earned the access to a secret editor, which Andrew will be explaining next week. And the deadline is 20th of September. If you have any questions for the like core course, it's time now to ask them.
I found one is the one when you finish like the whole map. There is like usually like a level complete thing, and the exit button pops up. I don't know.
Okay.
If that is advanced thing or
No, it's not advanced. Let me. The easiest solution would be to copy that from existing maps. So in Mission ENC or in Map INI, you want to search for exit, and it's result exit result in displaying that pop-up. Do you want to quit the game? And there's also another Mission 1. This is the one which wins the mission. You want to check for which player is gonna be win. And usually when you win the mission, you want for the player to have the whole area explored. So you're gonna write another line like that. So it's gonna exploit the whole area for the player 0. So this is for player 2-1. And I think with the exit, there's like a one stuff which is not so... like you want there to be some delay between the winning bell and the pop-up of the exit, so it's time gone 7 here. But I think if you would export your map from C2M to that, there should be like by default this mission should exist, and the same goes with the winning mission. So those 2 missions should exist by default if you don't clear the missions entirely at the beginning of the scripting process. So it's exit and mission 1.
Okay.
Maybe not forget to add some kind of file, for something I asked you, a few weeks ago now, about importing the maps from Culture 2, Culture 3, Culture 4, and modify it to be able to use it in the editor.
So like import maps from older cultures to our modifications, something like that.
Yep, something we did together, if you remember.
Yeah, I made a conversion for that, but it's outdated because it was for CN mode 1.1 and it was pretty glitchy. It's called converter static objects converter. It's called. I think
No,
that
I mean what we did together, you know, to
what you need
use.
to do to get from one to another.
Let me check. It was a few weeks ago.
I mean, the only thing which is necessary to be changed are the names of the buildings. I think some of the Frankish names might be different because they were updated heavily in version 1.3, but this is for 1.2. I'm not sure how it's done in 1.3. This will be like I should ask Yozenko about that. But basically, if you have a map that is made for like a default cultures and you want to import it there, you can use this table to convert the name of the building to another. So if you want them to have the same job type, you want to do it by the name here. It's in Polish. Sorry for that. So let's say I want to convert Ulmin's beehive. I want to convert it also to a beehive. So it's actually the same. It's gonna be better for another nation. So in Egyptians we have the house one. Is different than house one. Like this has the graphic ID 206, and this has the graphic ID
This is
75.
Byzantine home.
Okay, sorry. But there are some like if you want to have you can convert them in two ways. Either they will remain looking the same, or they will serve the same purpose. Because there are some buildings which have different purposes in modifications and in the base game, but they look the same. So using those numbers, you can make sure that they will look the same, and using those names, you can make sure they will have the same functionality. So there are like two ways to convert it, and you just need to change that in static objects. So in this section with houses, you just want to change the names of them, and that's the only thing where the backward compatibility is broken.
Let me.
But usually you
Let me
should
show
start
what.
everything
Let
from.
me let me show what I did. You know, on the map text.
Okay.
I just did. I just did. I just transferred. You know, I'm sorry. I'm very tired. My back hurts like hell.
Yeah, it's quite late.
Um,
Sorry for making it that long.
no, it's okay. It's okay. Just me. I just shared the tutorial that I used to take an original map and put it in Remix Editor. You have it now on mapping text. If you want to show.
Wait a second. Okay, that was what was that for? Wait, what was the process? Okay, so this is how you want to like put the map from the game inside the editor back.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, it's there. Something. Do you have a problem with some of those points, or do you want me to explain it?
No, I just wanted to, how do I say it? Just so you could tell to other people who are not necessarily in the Discord and want to hear about it, just so they know it's possible to take a map from the game and put it in the editor. It was something we didn't really
Yeah.
talk about.
Okay, so I can show that on the recording how to put an existing. Okay, I'm not gonna show the kind of out of the course how to put maybe the Blizzard in the editor. This is the default Cultures Eighth Wonder. I'm gonna start at the beginning. Let's pretend I don't have this folder there. That's how the basic Eighth Wonder is gonna look like after you download it. And from the CN mode, you want to use that in the tools. There's a tool called converters. I'm gonna copy that to as Eighth Wonder. And you want here to use the conversion. You want to run this app. You should get such a window. You want to convert it. Use the extract c2m lib cultures 2 and greater.
Hello,
And then as an input file, you want to select in DataX in libs. There's like this one huge file. You want to select this file as an input. And as an output, you want to select your main game directory. So it's Eighth Wonder for me in Polish. And you want to select this folder, and now it's gonna freeze and load for a bit, and it's gonna extract some data here. It should create the folder which is called data, and inside this folder will be a bunch of maps which are created by the developers. It's gonna take a moment for it to be extracted because this archive is really huge and Python is really slow, and I wrote this in Python. But after that, you should get like a folder called data, and inside this folder, we're gonna search for our maps. And just to make sure that it works correctly, you can, after all of this procedure, go to data.xlibs and delete this file. And if you're gonna delete it, you will make sure that the data folder from the base the base folder of the game is loaded instead of this. If it's not loaded, you will get some error that the files are missing. It's gonna take a while. I have no idea how slow this is. Actually, let me crash this up. Because I can just Control Z here because I have already extracted it before. Yeah, it's here. Let's say I extracted it. I had it previously there. But after that, we can go to this and delete this file just to make sure the game doesn't use this anymore. It's basically like a zip or rar. We can extract it. And then in data maps, we want to search for the maps which we want to edit. Let's say we're gonna use the lantern of Alexandria here. If you want to make sure that you're using the right map, you want to go to the folder text and then convert those strings CIF to INI. You want to use the conversion. Okay, I removed it from there. Tools, converters. We're gonna use CIF to INI conversions to see what's there. So that's data, maps, this folder. We go to text, pol, strings. We can convert it to the strings CIF there. I mean strings INI, sorry. Save it. It should be right there. Yeah, it's here. We can delete string CIF. And now we can check, is the title correct? So the title here is in Polish, Lantern from Pharos. So you basically need to kind of brute force yourself to find the map which you want to edit, because you're always gonna need to convert CIF to INI, and if you're not sure which one is this, you need to basically brute force some of your suspicions to which one that's gonna be. And from there, we want to copy map.dat file. That's the only one which we're gonna need right now. We want to copy that maybe to a desktop for now. And from map.ini, you want to find the phrase static object and copy everything there, what's there, from the top to bottom. It's quite a lot of here things there. I'm gonna be using my copy function probably, so I'm gonna copy it later. And now, also one thing that you need to check is the map size. Okay, I cannot do this for this one because it's greater than 500 by 500, and that would make the things much more complex. So let's pretend we used a different map than this. Actually, so data, maps. Okay, it should be CIF by default. I had this already converted to INI. Let's use tutorial maybe. So you will also need to convert your CIF to INI. There, map CIF, save to file map INI. And then delete map CIF because we no longer need it. And here, that's gonna be a simpler map because it's a tutorial, so it's gonna have less stuff inside. What is this map size? It's not divisible by... What's going on? No, I need to use another map. I had no idea they make... Can you see this, Emil? Is it normal? I have no idea they made a map which is not divisible.
What?
This is the map size of the tutorial. It's the first time I see something not divisible by 20 by 10 here.
This is a fragment of England.
Okay, but it's still cursed. They don't have like a whole sectors. It's like cut off strangely. Maybe another map. Third guess.
This is very exotic cases.
Yeah. Actually, I'm now curious how you can import tutorial 1 inside the editor. That I don't think that's possible. What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna use another map, which I know it works. It's gonna be.
Wygnajmy z kancelasu, weź, po prostu.
I'm gonna use. I have no idea which one.
Secret layer.
Which one was the?
Three.
Maybe this one. It's map ini. Okay, I think I already
Oh.
converted it there, so it's gonna be a bit quicker. No, I haven't. I'm gonna check if it's the Blizzard map.
Okay. Briefing.
Okay, yeah, I can go to briefings. That's also a good idea to check it. No, it's a Land of the Dragons 2. Why did I edit it? Okay, this is.
No.
What's going? Yeah. Okay, it's special co-op. Yeah, it's special co-op. We can go to briefings. Yeah, this is the Blizzard in Polish. And now we can. Hopefully, this one will work. I'll wrap my head around the fact that wait, I cannot go there. Okay, here. I will try to figure out how to do this for the tutorials. I didn't expect such an edge case there. Map ini. Okay, and it's finally divisible by 10 and it's not bigger than 250. Now we want to create the empty map with the same size in the editor, except it's gonna be twice as big with those dimensions because those are only macro vertices and those dimensions. It's the odd thing that I explained a few lessons before. So it's gonna be 500 by 500. Just multiply those two numbers by 2. Save this as empty file. Save as maybe on the desktop. Save it, and now you want to extract this map because this is basically an archive. We can extract it. Extract C2M lib. Desktop C2M, save to directory. Desktop, select folder. You should get current user map. There's map cif map dat. We can replace map dat with whatever we want it there to be, and then we want to use cif ini to convert this cif to ini. Save it, and now we want to change the size is the same. If it's not the same, you need to change it to whatever it. Okay, now it makes sense. You just cannot load that. Never mind. I'm gonna change. Tutorial maps are really weird. I'm gonna later alone check them. I suspect they won't work the same way. But from there, you need basically to copy from the original map ini, which was from your game. You need to copy static object section. There it starts. It ends here. Also, all of the numbers there should be changed to 0, 1, 2, or 3. So it shouldn't be 6 there. But I will ignore it for now. It should work, I guess. Static objects, let's copy it to our map ini, save it. And then we need to make all of the procedures back, so it's init cif. Actually, this conversion is glitched. I should talk with Yosenko about that and fix it. But right now, I think a small glitch is that you need to have like an empty line at the end, like that. If you will have the file like that, it will crop this line. You need to have an empty new line character at the end. That's a small minor issue. I already fixed that in some version, but in CN mode it's not fixed yet. We need to select as an input map ini, save it to map cif, back again, replace it. You can then check the modification date. Is it like changed? Delete map ini, and then you want to pack back. Oh, I I closed it. Tools, converters, and it's gonna be create C2M to lib. I mean create C2M, current user map. Select this folder, and I think there's a small glitch on current CN mode. You need to make it .lib and later change it to C2M. The converter won't allow it to save it as C2M directly. There's a small glitch with that, and it's already been fixed, but it's not updated in CN mode yet. So we can change it back to C2M, delete this one, rename it to C2M. Maybe it should be also capitalized. And now we can try to open it back in the editor. Why it didn't work? Okay, but because it's already opened. Okay, new one. Okay, and open this one. And it doesn't work. I don't know what I made wrong, but I'm a bit tired. Wait a second. Not that. It's from. I need to make it more calmly, so it's gonna be a longer time. Let's clean a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure is it necessary for now. This is like if you would follow the whole course, that should be like the obvious procedure but reversed. They made some stupid mistake along the way. It doesn't work now. Okay, I know what I might done wrong. No, it's correct there. Made some stupid mistake. Let me actually not use that. Let's make it without static objects. Because I don't want to... it's there, okay, and now I need to convert sift to ini. I mean, ini to, maybe I used it for cultures 1 and that's why it didn't work, I'm not sure. Save to map sieve. Place, yes. Delete that. Create lib. Select folder, save to file, desktop, map.lib, save. Delete this one, rename it to map C2M. Now maybe I'm gonna restart the editor. It doesn't work, I have no idea why. But it explained there, people who watch the stuff might see it. I made some stupid mistake along the way and I'm too tired to search for it. I don't know. Did you spotted any mistakes while I was doing that? Yeah. I think
It's weird because it worked for me, but
it works for you.
it worked for me. Yes, I was able to import a great country on the editor and modify it for my own usage.
Yeah, but I don't think that's that much important from the course. I mean, I can try to debug this stuff right now, but it's gonna be a bit boring if you want to see it.
It felt to me it was important because creating a map is one thing, but maybe people wanted to, like me, import old maps into the editor and modify it, for example.
Yeah, I know, but I made some stupid mistake along the way, and it's pretty long procedure with all of this.
It's alright.
There's also one thing I wanted to, because next week it's gonna be said how to edit maps directly. I shouldn't show that. That's an internal editor. I'm gonna send you a link to our secret editor, which we stole from the German community illegally. So just don't share it online with random people. It's gonna be there. You can download it, and there's like a game edit exe, and after you're gonna press Ctrl plus F8, it's gonna allow you to edit the map directly without converting into C2M, and that's what's gonna be explained next week. But it's kind of an addition because for many years people didn't have this editor, and they could make maps without it. So that's what's gonna be in the next meeting with the Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we
No
ever were
questions?
this late with the meeting.
I don't think either.
Yeah. Thank you for the lesson. I'm going to gonna
Yeah.
did that. Yeah. Thank you for the lesson. Good night, guys.
Yeah. So
Good
See you,
night.
see you again in Premiere Map.
yeah, good luck with making maps. Yeah.
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 Honestly, if I have other questions, it will be, in the making of a map and all. So I'll tell you,
Okay.
again. Plus, I really have an idea I want to do with islands. I just had one question and nothing related to map course. It's more about the game. Can we trade between players?
Not with the same way as you can with the AI, but you can make a tribute so that after you pay it, the stuff magically appears in the headquarters of the player.
Okay, so via tribute, I can trade with friends or
Yeah, exactly. It's actually created on a map called Trybuty Dwóch Światów, Tributes of Two Worlds. You don't see, you can look how it's made there. It's it's this one, Trybuty Dwóch Światów. It's the last one which I used with the classic convention. And here you can see it's gonna be like something with tribute. So you have a goal to pay the tribute, and after you pay that, you get a result that adds some goods to the ground somewhere near the player base. And again, you create the tribute back this one with the ID 0, so it's the same. You add goods to it, so it's not gonna be an empty tribute, and you activate this mission back. So it's like a one mission loop, so you can over and over again pay some amount of goods to a player, and by this 4 and 5, you can actually see those are the same goods there.
Okay.
So I think this is like 5 wood and 5 wheat, but I might be mistaken. Yeah, but it's basically
And
this
I
mission.
have to.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to do this script every time.
Yeah, for each of the
Yeah,
tributes
whatever,
individually,
maybe.
you need to make it so the separate mission. Yeah, so each tribute would
Okay.
be for like a single or two maybe pieces of the type of the resource, and for each different type of the resource, you need to make a separate tribute. But at the same time, you can have only 7 tributes active towards the same player, because otherwise the UI won't be able to display all of them.
Okay. So 7 tribute stops per map.
Not 40 tributes if you want to do it per map, but you have like a limited space here down there, and they can be only 7 lines there after you round out of this. But in total, they can be 40 tributes. You can make more tributes, and I would really like to talk about that. Like once I made a 100 tributes on the map, but that was really complex stuff because then you need to check which one player would like to choose and swap them in a memory, because there's not enough memory to store more than 40 tributes. So it's quite complex. The 40 tributes is a regular limit, so the 39 is the highest ID that you can place here.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording now.